This is another part of the female experience that has important value to it, and you're not likely to experience. We experience it sometimes, but not nearly the way they do. This might sound ridiculous. This might sound like that'll never happen. So if shows any amount of stability with his position of I want to spend time with you and I respect your boundaries. So I'm not going to step through your boundaries. I'm just letting you know I would like to do something with you on New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve or whatever. I'm inviting but not demanding, and I'll be fine if you say no. She's going to respond to this in almost every case. We call it the 16-year-old girl response, where she gets too excited. As soon as she decides, I'm going for it, man, I'm going to say yes this time, I'm going to spend some time with him, she will be over vulnerable. I don't know how to get them to stop doing that, okay? They almost always do it, and you may not even notice it because it's only over vulnerable by their measurement, not your measurement. Can you imagine if wife said to him, you call that courageous? That's not courageous. I was watching over here, and what you did was not courageous. She has no idea how much work you did on the inside to become courageous. You have no idea how much work she's going to do to be vulnerable. Never, ever tell a woman she's not accurate in her feelings, because you have no idea what's going on with her just as much as she has no idea what's going on with you.
If you're finding this video helpful or want to help us reach others in need, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because it really supports our channel. Thank you.
What they usually do is this happens usually as you do a great job of building some emotional momentum and we start climbing this ladder of intimacy. No matter how far up you get, when they go to sleep or when they leave you, they panic and then they pull back, way back. All you're gonna see is, get away from me, stay away from me, don't get close to me, I'm scared of you. And you're like, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. This is the whiplash effect of the vulnerability hangover. I gave more of myself to you psychologically, emotionally, and or physically than I was planning to. They'll come to my sessions and they'll apologize. And they'll say, Maurice, I did it wrong. I totally went too far. I was totally more vulnerable than I'm supposed to be. I ruined everything. I'm no, you did not ruin everything, okay? All we have to do is walk through season 2, walk through season 3, spend a little bit of time in season 4, and then we will redo the courtship. You don't get to pick up where you left off. You don't get to gather a bunch of mana and have it for the next day and the next day. You have to start over. You have to start at verbal intimacy the next day. It feels like Groundhog Day, but if you're a farmer, every day is Groundhog Day. You have to start at the beginning. Once you understand it, it's not hard anymore. So every time you have a nice experience and things go farther than they've ever gone before, in your case, this is a higher level of intimacy than you've had in a long time. You got her opening up psychological intimacy. She's considering opening up space to connect with you. Go back to the basics. Go to verbal intimacy, then do some more cognitive. What are your plans? What are your thoughts? Here are my thoughts. I have thoughts. We could do this, we could do that. We could, don't have to, but I'm thinking about it. My head is in the game. We do emotional intimacy. Let's just check in a little. Remember last Christmas? What went right, what went wrong? Please consider the probability or the likelihood that your vision of how physical intimacy should run is probably distorted by the media. You are probably messed up to some degree, whether you've had a lot of exposure to actual pornography or if you've just seen sitcoms and romances. I hate the 2-hour movie where the couple meets, they have a nice relationship, there's trauma, and within 2 hours they are trusting each other again and they're back into full psychological physical intimacy. I'm all, no, that is so, you're so screwing up the system. You can't complete a intimacy cycle in 2 hours. The mistake that a lot of men experience when they go into, and some women, is they think that physical intimacy is about maximizing physical stimulation. Your animal brain can only feel so much pleasure. It's got a cap to it, a ceiling to it. This is why people start getting into that asphyxiation stuff, and then they kill themselves trying to do sexually erotic things because they keep trying to lift the level of pleasure. What they don't understand is you can't lift the level of pleasure. This is why I'm using a pyramid, because you enhance the experience of physical pleasure by adding emotional pleasure. You add to the physical pleasure by adding to the psychological. As things get better verbally, it makes the bedroom nicer because now you can share goals and where are you going? Where are you going with me in the bedroom? Presiding isn't taking control and throwing things around. It's just, hey, let's put this over here. Let's put this over there. Let's put this over here. I'm describing this to you as I have a dream element of what the whole intimacies when they're together is supposed to feel like. It's supposed to feel like this thick, enjoyable dynamic that is like a pyramid that ain't gonna fall over. We have the security of it being built right, and you're the one who led it, and you have some control over it because you initiated verbal intimacy again, courageously, and then you've initiated cognitive intimacy again, courageously. Impatience is usually the result of selfishness. I want, I'm not getting, and it's usually accidental selfishness. So I get it that you find yourself thinking that way on accident. I don't think any of you would ever think that way on purpose. But if your brain gets caught up in what you're not getting and what you want and how it's not going the way you would want it to go, you are experiencing accidental selfishness, which is the opposite of charity.